Yes, I'm recording, son. Have guys. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm eccentric RockStar'Seed, and it's still a celebratory energy. I will be celebrating for the next 4 years at least. Keep in mind, take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I do believe that what happens within this next 4 years does set the tone for the next 4 years after that, leading into the 4 years after that, because it does go back and forth between the Democrats, Republican, so to speak. Okay, so I did a collective read, or I began the reading with the intention of being a collective, and then it was a divine feminine, and then it was a Leo read. It ended up being Leo's read. But in that reading, I sound like the opponent, the weaker opponent of the election. Like I couldn't cognate a sentence. It felt so socially awkward. And after all these years of recording, even though I know what I want to say, for some reason with this energy, with that energy of that reading, it felt awkward, as if you go back to my earlier readings, like speaking to me in person is a breeze, is a good ebb and flow. But trying to speak on camera, it felt so unnatural. That energy felt so unnatural. So to pick up on someone's energy that is so inauthentic, a bold-faced liar, deeply insecure, hella scary, because you're afraid to be your authentic self, afraid no one would like you. So you pick up all these different personas. It's like multiple personality disorder or some kind of imbalance. I felt a huge imbalance. I felt like I felt socially awkward. It was disgusting. I can tell you that. And I almost uploaded the reading, and I said, I don't like that reading. I just don't like that energy. And if it still comes out in this reading, then well, so be it. That's somebody's energy. It needs to be documented. That is a disgrace. So a cat that dreams of becoming a lion must lose its appetite for rats. That's an African proverb, meaning if you want to achieve success, you have to let go of old habits that will disturb or interrupt or block your progress. So what about this? Whose reading is this? Is it collective or is it Leo? Okay, I think I'm going to do a collective read first, and I'll come back to Leo, because Leo, I did not like your reading. There was something wrong with it. It was something wrong with the person's energy I was picking up on. They were insecure, overly promiscuous. They were a Queen of Wands in reverse, and then you had a suit, but it was an imbalance. You had the King of Wands, and then you had the Queen of Wands in reverse. The King of Wands was in the upright. The Queen of Wands was in reverse. So let's see. It wasn't right. Someone was telling the truth and someone was lying. Cool. I graduated, you guys. I have another certification, another degree. This fell on my lap, and look at that. They go Leo's reading. They go the sun that does represent Leo. I was talking. It was so intelligent with what I wanted to say, because I kept articulating the message by way of scientific studies. I was talking about science. I was speaking of English words. I had a 40. I titled this reading a 45-letter word. I started talking about. Here we go again, that awkward reading. Like someone is stumped for conversation. It's like they know what it looks like. They know what it smells like, but they can't duplicate somebody's creativity. You can copy someone, but you cannot steal their creativity. So the more I honor my inner light, the more I brighten the world I choose to shine. It's like I don't respect people like that. You may have my empathy, but you do not have my respect, because the thing of it is, it was like very loud and wrong instead of being loud and proud. So something's being illuminated, being brought to the light about someone, or you, collective, brought something to the light about someone without even meaning to, without even just being your authentic self. Put somebody in a bad taste, and put a bad taste in someone's mouth. Compassion. Should I be telling you to give this person a little compassion? I think you did show them a little bit of grace, because I see you I see you remaining independent. And look at the contrast of the cards. And the card that's gold base, has lighter arms, and the card that's lighter in base has gold on it. So there's a contrast. I told you, yin-yang energy. So maybe this is a do-over of Leo's read. I don't know. Compassion is my compass. I'm willing to hold space for the experience of others. First of all, do I want to hold a space, a moral space, and have compassion for someone who obviously understands right from wrong and chose to do wrong? I feel like that's the naivety of the people almost voted for a jerk. I don't care if she's a woman, she's a jerk, okay? There's one thing to deny who you are, and it's like it's one thing to pretend to be something that you're not. Okay? That's a liar within itself. I don't even need to say anything else after that. That's a liar within itself. So something about it is just, you see, the whole world is having okay, that's not the whole world, because the whole world voted for Trump. Okay, including myself. The muse of it is the people who voted against Trump, who want to sit in the face of intellectual people and pretend to be stupid, naive, or just be yes men to someone who just wants to control a weaker spirited or weaker minded, someone whose spine you can bend by instilling fear in them every time you want to run, every time you want to win the election. You instill fear in a specific group of people, and it's a shame. It just happened to be my cultural group of people. Some of you. Because some more of you got wise and went with Trump. So did the Latinas, so did the Muslims. Speaking of which, we're going to pray. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our Rab, we have wronged our souls. If you do not forgive us and have mercy on us, we shall certainly be of the losers. Surah number 7, ayat number 23. That doesn't mean the person can't go back and repent. Because you just try to, I feel like you tried to laugh in God's face. That's what gets me irritated about what we've been seeing for 107 days of campaigning. How is somebody supposed to know you in 107 days of campaigning when what we saw about you, the little bit that we saw thus far, was never good, especially towards that particular group of people? Then you suddenly metamorphose and change molecules and change DNA, and all of a sudden pass yourself off as black. Like, you told so many stupid ass lies, lady. I don't know what the fuck wrong with you. You just really thought my group of people was dumb. And shame on some of my people who voted for her for feeling like she was going to help you, she was going to save your life. First of all, she's a dictator. She derives from dictators. She descends from other dictators and communists and slave owners. If you're going to vote for somebody, at least you owe it to yourself to do the research instead of letting somebody instill fear in you in the first place. First of all, the vulnerable target there, the witchcraft in that there, is the fact that it doesn't even work if what they thought you initially should be afraid of is not even an issue anymore. But it's still an issue for you at the end of the day if you can let somebody instill fear in you and tell you have to vote for them and go against your man, or go against having a man, go against your husband, go against your common sense, your somatic psychic senses, like a rector pili. That's the technical term for goosebumps. Okay? I spit it all. I must have named so many different scientific facts. Okay? I must be suffering from pollution or lung disease or something like that, because everybody thought they was going to croak and die. I thought the people who thought they should go with this woman, they act like they were going to croak and die. Okay? Or just having all these kind of meltdowns. Like, at least get them a doctor. Afford them a doctor. You offered them all this free stuff to enslave them. Put the dots together, y'all. They offered you a bunch of free stuff to enslave you. Aren't you tired of people playing in your face? Aren't you tired of being a victim? Aren't you tired of your ancestors being disrespected? They did not die and create this platform or open these doors for you by way of brutal death, and other horrific things and trauma like slavery. Like, you're less than a human any fucking way. You might as well do what I say. You gonna let somebody talk to you like that in 2024? It's illegal in hindsight. But is it? Because people still practice it if you let them. Play in your face. Okay? I have a whole fucking grudge for these people, or clownery, one or the other, because it's all clownery at the end of the day. Spirit of the home. Look inside yourself and figure out where these issues, how deep, look how deep they go. They need to be explored on how deep the mind, the issues go spiritually to affect the mind, the body, the spirit of the home. See what I mean? This is my Queen of Pentacles. Somebody thought they was living like a fat cat in fertility. There's a rabbit there in that picture. And somebody who felt like there's a group of people. I feel like it's a smaller group of people at this point, because you look at the election, he won by a landslide because everybody decided to go with him because they're tired of being abused, or people just insulting their intelligence, insulting their religion, insulting their beliefs, insulting their conviction, or trying to deprive them of conviction. There is no God but God. Even though Adam doesn't have to fear his sins, he can go repent. But who is he repenting to? You're not repenting to no descendant of slave owners. Let's just talk common sense. You still have a slave mentality to even buy into that stupid shit. Okay? And I said I wouldn't use profanity anymore. But this is, come on, that. Why are you having a meltdown? You should be thanking God. That's a mercy on you. What about the man? What about Trump? What about him? Okay? Totem of the earth. This looks like somebody wanted to little boy somebody by taking. It's like you. This is an old soul, because it's obviously a child with a white beard. So this is a person born with an old soul, like someone who's been here before. Okay. So for me, this could be on a more positive note. This could be a woman who's birthing her ancestors all over again. So it may feel like when you interact with your children and you watch how your children conduct themselves and how they think and cognate thoughts, or create or develop strong cognitive skills in what they speak, how they feel, with the utmost emotional intelligence. The things that they say out their face can make you feel like they've been here before, can inspire you to think they've been here before. So whoever this mother is, they could have done a great job, increasing their wealth and keeping the bloodline strong by producing children. I feel like intuitively this is somebody who didn't even want children, but they have them. And now they see there's a reason why they had them. Now we got to make sure that our children are safe. Lock the borders down. Okay? We're all immigrants, but not all of us are illegal immigrants. Okay? We all derive from somewhere else. And somebody embodies the spirit of the home, not the spirit of the ancestors, not the spirit of the slave master. That's deep. It's very deep. So, it's like, it's not surprising. I saw something on the news that they're going to cancel The View because they have officially turned on each other and they made so many racial or ethnic slurs on that show. I don't know how true that is, but I saw that. Those women snapped because of who won the election. And I think that's getting them in trouble at this point. Not because he's in the office, just because it's in poor taste to bash someone to that high velocity. Anyway. Get grounded. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, the highly empathic people, the struggle is over. With every difficulty comes to ease. So number 65, I is number 2 and 3. Okay? This channel was for people who are authentic, who can speak their mind and practice creative expression, artistic expression. So yes, my lifestyle is infused in everything that I speak about. My lifestyle is conservative, which is more along the lines of tradition. So it'll be more along the lines of religion. And that's just that. They actually found a way to stop me from voting. That was nobody but the devil. And I still got my wish anyway. I don't know about y'all. I'm not nobody's little boy. I don't need you to think for me. I don't need you to do anything for me. I don't need you to do any favors for me. I don't need you threatening my children. None of that type of stuff. With the shit that you suggested. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. You are already... And you know what I didn't notice about this card is there's a pathway that's lit up right here. see how she's looking at it. She's looking directly at it. The light is at the end of the tunnel, or you reach the point where you now can see the light at the end of the tunnel. After so much traveling and so many, like, removal of so many obstacles. It's dance, celebration time. Last round. 18 can break down to a 9. 9 is like the end of a cycle. It's like you almost at the finish line. And the sun is in there too. You see the sun in the back? Joy, happiness. That's what we need to get back to. And then I wrote so many notes. In the other reading, I wrote a lot. Okay? People reacted as if they have a disease of the lungs. I don't know what the stuttering is about, but the crystals that I named. Okay. I'm pausing because I'm looking at all my notes, you guys. I don't mean to pause and bore your reading, but we had turquoise was one, black tourmaline, blue lapis, purple amethyst, red jasper. Talks about the root chakra. Red jasper, turquoise. A lot of Indians gravitate to the crystal turquoise, which is scientific. They're stones from the earth. Okay? Pure peace and tranquil. What's the matter? Okay, hold on. It's dead? Okay, well, now we gotta let it charge. Okay?
What could you?
Just hold on a second, sorry. So I can charge it. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. I was saying red jasper talks about the root chakra, talks about getting grounded. So everything that's coming out in this reading now is what's being called out is the fake versus the real. Okay, that's what's being called out. And I like how these cards are further. These were not the same cards that came out the first time. However, if I decide to upload that reading, you will notice that my energy is so awkward. It's like I couldn't make out my sentences. It was just I stuttered. At one point, I'm like, what am I talking about? Like, it was just like rambling. I don't know whose energy was that. It was ridiculous. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. I'm doing it over. Okay, do over. But get grounded. Red jasper talks about root chakras. Root chakras talks about it balances aggressive energy. So someone was aggressively trying to dumb you down to have their way over you. That's what we don't want. That's the stuff I don't like. It balances the aggressive energy, peace and tranquil, empowerment, and it's about stability. It's a very vibrant energy. It improves both platonic and romantic style relationships. And it also talks about your sacral chakra and your solar plexus chakra. I feel like a lot of the world were being sexually assaulted because you were being bent over with no Vaseline, if you know what I mean. Black tourmaline. Okay? And solar plexus chakra, if you hold grudges, watch as you release those grudges, you won't have so much bloating of the stomach. You heal your stomach issues. You heal a lot of generational curses, a lot of diseases that derive from generational curses. Like it's the same bad habit regurgitating itself each generation. So black tourmaline purifies the body from negative energies that are brought by thoughts of anxiety, fear, and anger, and overcomes addictions. It helps you overcome those addictions, and it frees the mind from self-harm. So a lot of people were creating self-inflicted wounds. You know what the definition of depression is? Rage turned inward. Purple amethyst provides that emotional support by healing and calmness and wisdom. So that emotional intelligence is something you can't afford to put down. You got blue lapis. Talks about inner wisdom, inner peace, and self-expression, but it also talks about your third eye chakra. Like black tourmaline purifies that from psychic attacks. Okay? That was a whole psychic attack put on black people to enslave them, to re-enslave them, or continue to keep them putting them down and making them feel like they're afraid to speak out, like their voice doesn't matter. It also talks about clear communication and creativity. So it brings a natural flow to those who like to write, or the writing energies. And then it stops mental and physical attacks with the blue Laplace. And it helps you overcome trauma. The trauma of being disrespected so badly, and to think there was one. I just feel like her audience was way too big for her agenda. Like, no, not enough people saw it for what it was. They just was going, or was too scared to say something, or too scared to do something different. They just wanted to go with the flow. Very stubborn energy. That pissed me off. Okay, but it's disgusting. There is a coming together, by the way. There is a coming together, and for those who ignorantly say, who wish harm on anybody who voted for Trump, I have one word for you. Pneumano ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Eccentric, what did you just say? I specifically said Pneumano is a 45-letter word. Pneumonio mano ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. That is a lung disease caused by inhaling very fine silica dust, usually from volcanoes. However, though, silicate and quartz dust is what's happening. Okay, it's like a volcano of bullshit. Someone was barricaded. You were just inhaling the toxinities of a damn slave owner, and it made me mad. Okay. Also, TB. TB is the world's deadliest infectious disease. Although briefly eclipsed by COVID-19, people die every 20 seconds from it. Okay? Your life has been spared. You should thank God every day. Okay? But again, Adam does not have to fear his sins. He can go repent and his sins will be forgiven. The chemical name for the protein titin takes about 3 hours to pronounce because it has 189,819 letters. Why are you telling us all this different scientific health stuff? Because it's good to know. Okay? I'm increasing your IQ. Okay? Titin is the largest known protein in the human body and is responsible for maintaining muscular elasticity. The name titin derives from the Greek word titan, Titan. Listen to me. Okay, that energy that energy is very strong. I don't know what the fuck she did behind the scenes, or what the hell. It's like that generational curse is not trying to be broken, which refers to a giant deity. That's what it means. The chemical name for titin is long because the proteins are named by combining the names of all the amino acids that made them up, you guys. It would take around 3.5 hours to say that name out loud, to pronounce it out loud. More so, nonetheless, some people don't consider titin's chemical, the name, to be the longest word in English, the English language, because it's a scientific name. Lexicographers, you know what a lexicographer is? They consider generic chemical compound names to be verbal formulas, not English words. All right? A lexicographer is a person who compiles dictionaries. Like compiles, the word compiles, think about that. They compile dictionaries. That means they are third person present. That is a third person present. They produce by assembling information collected from other sources. Assembling being the operative word. Gathering together in one place for a common purpose. If that's still your common purpose, at this point, something is derangedly wrong. So that there's nothing but mental instabilities, and they're being normalized without no medicine. Okay? And I'm not a doctor to diagnose nobody with mental instabilities, but why would you want that for yourself? Why would you want to fake it to make it? Like that, I hate that term. Well, eccentric, you done educated the people, because I feel like something's wrong with them. Like you're being You're inhaling too much of the wrong potion. You shouldn't even be inhaling potions at all, okay? You should be a free thinker. But I can't tell you what to do, so I digress. That's 25 minutes. I don't even want to talk about this shit no more because it was such a nasty ass energy. So I don't know who conjured up what that almost had people going for a second, but a lot of people wised up. Maybe they were doing some heavy praying. I feel like they were. I feel like a lot more people than Muslims were doing some serious praying. That's why he won by a landslide. So when you sit down and think about and start doing the research of both parties, you'll see what I'm talking about. Specifically, the one who was planning your face about your food being in the bathtub. What in the fuck? You just washed period off your ass and you're going to tell me you're going to put my greens in a bathtub? You know, that's stupid shit. You know, and all the different accents and stuff she was using. Talking about she grew up in middle class. Talking about her mother raised 2 black girls. No, she didn't, because you're Irish. Okay? So I don't know. Leo, why does this have to be your reading? Because the common ground it stands on is you either fake it to make it with people, and someone you met just on a whim or exposed you or something, and the thing that how they know they exposed you is the way you treat them, the way you treat people. Exposed what's really good with you, something like that. Okay, take that. Last part of your reading. We're not communists. We're not listening to no communists. The Hierophant. Organization, government, cult division, even religion. So it's like it's a duality. Because initially you had the twins from this deck right here. You had the twins. The twins are about duality, yin yang energy. No land is governed or ruled without a strong, successful male figure. A strong male figure, strong-minded, strong-willed. And this is Malcolm X. This is my depiction. This is like my Malcolm X Shabazz card. A Hierophant, leader of a community or an organization. Now, he was such a massive influence. He was a Taurus, so that's a fixed sign. Leo's a fixed sign too. So someone is just so deep in their depression and their rage turned inward that they could have lost their way. I feel like maybe their intentions were pure once upon a time, but something slipped or got derailed somewhere in the spirit or in the mind. You know, it corrupted a little bit of both to the point where they're imbalanced. Look at that. The Temperance is imbalanced. I'm just saying. Listen, y'all. When you have a Temperance, that's a healing energy, and it's in reverse. So someone's unhealed, but trying to pass them off as somebody who is a ruler. So I don't know if they're dancing under the moon and got exposed by the sun or burnt by the sun. Something's been illuminated. You dig what I'm saying? Because they tried to, it's like you could have got somebody or tried to trip somebody up or trip a group of people up. Because you had the spirit of the people and divine messenger and the other from this deck of cards. From this deck. That's what you initially had. So it was a dual message with that. So now the Hierophant is further amplifying the cards that was already here. Hierophant. I feel like there was a lot of people who prayed, and there's a lot of people who P-R-E-Y, prayed under the moon. And the people who prayed to God counteracted the ones who was praying under the moon for a victory, for a first victory. Trying to defraud us. And then you have the High Priestess. That's more religion, and that's a balancing. Now here's that balancing act. Okay? The High Priestess, the Hierophant are counterparts. But they're more balanced. They're in the upright. Okay? So I think one represents the organization, and in this organization, the person who won is representing the stability and the conservative traditional values for the people. There is no God but God. Okay? If you don't and if you don't want to agree with that is your prerogative. You always have free will. It's just the fact that I'm just telling you, you was about to use your free will to make a demigod a ruler over you. Now the country runs better. The organization runs better. This is smoother when you're for the people. This is a leader who is more for the people, who does business, who gets to work right away. He has a whole goal that he has to accomplish, that he's going to accomplish within the first 100 days. He stopped the war already so far. Okay? Whoever. Let me see something. Definitely prayers are answered. The high priestess is concerned with receiving and understanding that which the world is sending our way. She is the yang to the magician's yang, creating magic through intuition rather than will. Yeah, someone definitely wanted to bend your will, seeking greater truths by drinking from the inner front of the unconscious. She urges us to go deeper, to accept mysterious wisdom and trust in yourself. She reminds us to have patience and to give time for quiet reflection. There is a concept of Taoism called Wu Wei, which is generally translated as action without action, or effortless doing. We may have difficulty with this idea because too often we are taught that action is always positive and inaction is always negative. In truth, inaction is sometimes the most powerful and positive choice we can make in our life. If you just use a little bit of common sense, it goes a further ways. And that devil was in reverse too, to clarify that high priestess. Like someone wanted you to think you should hate the other person. It was the art of persuasion. I want you to hate the other person. And in turn, more people end up hating that woman because she's a cruel bitch mother. The fact that you could lie in somebody's face and pretend that somebody's face like that and feel nothing, that's a mental disturbance within itself. Two of Wands. Okay? Although we're sitting in poverty, we have a choice to change it or not. In pursuit of happiness, that's on the bottom, 9 of Cups. I think people chose happiness. What's better, what's right for my family? And what's right for my family, no celebrity endorsed for millions of dollars can tell me what the fuck to do or what's right for my family. And that was what blew up. That was, now they all got egg in their face because no matter who they picked to endorse her, they all dropped the ball. They failed. Six of Cups. This reminds me of what she did. She got with the right person in power to get to her position. That does not make you qualified to be in that position. Okay, it wasn't based on God or love with the Two of Cups in reverse. Incompatible. Do it seem like sometimes she was drunk when she would talk? Like she didn't know what the fuck she was talking about? She always seemed like she's high all the time. Maybe she wasn't, but I'm just saying. That's how she talks sometimes. Like when she did that interview with Oprah, and she was talking about dreams as opposed to what the reality of the situation is. What's the Two of Wands? The Emperor. Strong male leader. Not a weak woman who has to pretend to kick it. First of all, you don't even like fake people. If you listen to some music and rappers, they always talk about fake people, and I know so many of them are outed for being fake they damn self. But they know fake very well, okay? Some of them. Not all of them. Okay? Emperor, leader of the community. A strong, level-headed person, whether he's vulgar or eccentric or not, he's level-headed. He knows business. Ace of Cups. That's the truth. That's going on top of that Emperor. We're choosing happiness. over misery. Misery is a liar. The devil's a liar. Misery loves company, and nobody wants to be ruled by a cruel bitch mother. In fact, if you were raised by a cruel bitch mother, you couldn't wait to get away from her. So why would you want that for your spiritual counsel? Doesn't make any sense. We're gonna make it make sense. Alright, this one to come out. The Chariot. This is somebody wanting to bend your will when your faith was obviously redirecting you with that Two of Wands. You understand? Four of Truths. This person was forced to call it a truce because you was mocking that guy. I feel it in my spirit. That's why I was like, I hope people wake up fast enough to realize this lady is mocking at God, playing in anybody's place. Like someone wanted to, and then bringing this full circle. All this material has to do with Leo's reading. It's like, well, either someone was trying to play in an earth angel's face, or you maliciously tried to bend the will of people or a person and play in their face and distort someone who stands for more, who stands for a lot, who has a massive influence, a positive influence over the community. The influence you feel like you should have had, or feel like you would have liked to have, but went about it in a very distorted way. Three of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is someone who's cruel. If you look at this as a kindergarten teacher, this is somebody who's child friendly. That means somebody who's warm, kind, welcoming for the youth, for the children, for the people. This is in reverse. You put my kids in danger. You were working to put my kids, you wouldn't have stopped at nothing to put the people in danger, starting with the kids. How do you not need the parents' permission to do anything to my child? Bullshit like that. Like, it's very obvious. Alright, I'm sick of her. I'm glad she's out of the question. It's out of the question now. Okay? Because for whatever reason, and whoever represents this energy, whether it's you, Leo, or the other person, okay, she's out of the picture, he's out of the picture. I'm glad. Man or woman, they're out of the picture. There we go. That's the Strength in reverse. Somebody who's insecure, weak, vile, tyranny, and unintegral. Six of Swords. Someone who struggles with no peace. And what that say? Science. Scientific studies prove that there is an imbalance and there's no peace with the Six of Swords. It's nothing but chaos. Look at that. Five of Wands. Unhealthy competition, rival, gossip, jealous, envy. For somebody who's real, you try to take that away from the American people. The traditional format. What's wrong with a man and a woman? As it goes back to politics for a split second. But this also talks about authenticity. You don't have to lie to kick it. The Lovers represent being true to yourself. Represents your North Node versus your South Node. Somebody who does not have inner wisdom, immature. In the house always win. A bully. Somebody who is ambitious, who will stop at nothing. Don't care who they got to step on to get to where they got to get to. Sounds familiar? We just sick of you cruel bitch mothers. Whether you're a man or a woman. Sick of you. You're ignorant. That's just ignorant at the end of the day. With the Hierophant in reverse. And the Strength in reverse. And the Six of Swords in reverse. Like, you wasn't taking nobody nowhere. You wasn't traveling a distance nowhere with that Six of Swords in reverse. You're going to stay there and be your own worst enemy. With this Five of Wands and this Five of Swords. These bullying tactics. Sick of you. Not much work ethic was put in. No real drive was put in. You really have shit to say. But a bunch of nothing. With the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And thought you was owed a victory. Because the Six of Wands was right underneath that. In your closing remarks with the Lovers. Like I said in the beginning. Uh-oh, there we go. And she came out in reverse. The Empress. Oh, a bad leader. What did I say? Let's say it together, class. Cruel bitch mother. Okay? Whether you have kids or not, doesn't matter. And what came out with it? The justice. You see that? Playing both sides from the middle. Or playing like you're a good person when you're really not a good person. You wanted the people to think you were for them, and you really was not. You were not. Okay? When the justice is in the upright, that means a wrong is being made corrected. So, if it's the Leo energy that's doing this shit, which it probably is, okay, man or woman, you're out of the picture. Okay, that's your punishment. I hear Don Corleone telling that to Carlos. That was his sister's husband. Don't tell me you innocent. Admit what you did. And he started naming off all the people he offed. Barzini's dead. Tatalia, Strassi, Cunyo, all the heads of the 5 families gone. Okay? Today I settle all family business, so don't tell me you're innocent. Admit what you did. Somebody who's jealous, somebody who's insecure, somebody who's disloyal, somebody who's bad for business. You see all this? You looking at this? They're bad for business. Okay? They were trying to take over a whole nation. Being imbalanced. Being empty-spirited. Hard-hearted. Evil. You come from evil. How's somebody supposed to believe you sane and straight? That's why you imbalanced like that. What? We're not going anywhere with you. And you're threatening the children. Okay? This country deserves a better leader. Don't tell me you're innocent. He started crying. Okay? You put all this into perspective. Okay? This was your choice. Is this what you want? Somebody whose sacral chakra is blocked. Okay? Versus somebody who's sharp-minded. He always been sharp-minded. That man is older and he's still sharp-minded. You can't outthink a thinker. I don't know why this energy was so gross. It still ended up being gross, but it came out better. I just sound so much better in this reading than I did trying to articulate it in the other reading. That was just more of that other energy that was coming out. Like, where are my words? I have it's like I was stumped for conversation. It's like I have an extensive vocabulary. I can and I will. Like, what's going on? It's like a psychic attack or something. Cooperate. That was the word. Somebody wanted the people to corroborate a farce narrative. That's what it was. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.